All right, in this lesson, we'll be looking at your poultry space where you raise your birds. Now, you can make use of a house, that is a properly constructed poultry house. You can make use of a makeshift house. Say you have an uncompleted building, a spare room, you have a cage, you have any of these that makeshift structures for poultry. Any of these can work. But whatever space you are using, you have to consider that it protects your birds from excessive weather conditions like rain. It protects them from sun. It protects them from predators. There are things that we want to prey on your birds. It protects them from it. And then when the weather condition is hot, that space should allow you room to alter it a bit so that you can reduce the temperature. It should also give you opportunity to alter it to preserve heat to keep your birds warm. So any space you decide to use, make sure all of these are accounted for. Once that is done, I think you are good to go with your poultry space. So next, let's look at the space requirements. How much space do you need to raise birds? Now, there are basically two stages that you will need to account for in spacing. There is the brooding stage. The brooding stage is when your birds need to be kept warm. And then there is the last stage when your birds need to be kept cool. So that accounts for about two types of building. The first building where everywhere is blocked, your brooding house or your brooding room, and the bigger building where after the birds have passed through the first 2-3 weeks, they are moved there to keep them cool. So for your brooding room, your birds will require about 0.5 square feet per each bird for the first 15 days. If you are keeping broilers the first 2 weeks, they require about half square foot. Now, after that first 2 weeks, the birds will take a maximum of 2 square feet to maturity at 6 weeks. I hope that is clear. All right, let me show you a very quick practical example to explain this spacing requirement. I'm sure we all know this. This is a normal floor tile. Normal tile we use 400 mm, 400 millimeters by 400 millimeters. Very common tiles that we use every day. Now, this tile is about 1.7 square feet. Now, we require 2 square feet for a matured bed, which means that this tile is just a little short of the requirement for one matured bed. Now, you can manage this in cold seasons when the weather is cool. You can use 1.7 per bed. It's fine. But when the weather is hot, especially in Africa, you can't make use of 1.7. You will end up with mortalities due to heat stress. So you need something slightly more to make it 2 square feet per bed. Now for brooding, one of these ties, the space of this tie takes 3.5, it is space for 3.5 beds up till 2 weeks of age. Meaning if you have a space of 2 of these ties, it will cover 7 beds. So 7 beds take the space for 2 of these ties. I hope that is clear. With this illustration and this example, you should be able to calculate the floor space requirement you need for brooding for as many beds as you have. Hope this is crystal clear. All right, thank you.